Counting down the final 37 hours of being in the US. And of course, one of the frustrations of just international travel and moving in general is, of course, banking and immigration. So I'm off to the UPS store right now because we had to get a document notarized and then apostilled, and now it has to be sent off. And it's just one of those things, it doesn't matter how many times you try and plan, how many things you try and do ahead of time, there's always going to be something that pops up last minute. So hopefully this is the last minute surprise. I'll definitely in future vlogs go over what we're doing in terms of payments and banking and all that fun stuff. I just have to make sure that everything we've set up actually works before I tell you to do it. So after that, I'll be going over to Starbucks to do an offline test, because if you've ever been stuck on a long plane, or you just know in general, there's no Wi-Fi. So I need to make sure that all the documents I need for any project I would be working on the plane, or while we have our layover in Taipei, Taiwan, I'll actually be able to have. And of course, if you've used Google Drive, you know they don't make it the easiest thing in the world to actually test that you have all your stuff offline, especially when it's Google Docs and slides, and you can't actually have Google Drawings offline, which for most people probably doesn't matter, but for me it's a big deal because that's how I make all of our internal diagrams. So it's a little frustrating, but we'll figure it out. UPS store, Starbucks offline test to make sure I can actually get some work done while I'm stuck on that plane. You ever have one of those work sessions where you feel like you didn't really get a lot done, but you know you were working the whole time? That's kind of how today felt. But the good news is that it seems Google Drive has made a massive update to the last time I had to take a trip, and everything was accessible offline, even the diagrams, which is something that wasn't available just a year ago. So super excited that I should be able to do all the work I need to do on my laptop on the plane without any internet connections. So thanks to a combination of Google Drive Stream and then just making things available offline. So I wound up having to do it both on the interface online and then also doing it via Google Drive Stream. So everything's set up, ready to go. Even got a little extra work done in terms of getting things set up because we still don't make blog posts for all the videos that are posted. So that's something I hopefully can have the team start working on while I am away. And if you're wondering, yes, I am walking through a cemetery right now. So time to go home, cook some food, because I finally had to pick up some groceries. You know, when you house sit, you can't eat all the food. They tell you you can eat as much as you want, but we all know like it would be rude if you ate all their food. So going to cook some of that up and then do some last minute tutorials for the team in preparation for me disappearing for a couple of weeks. And of course, I didn't get to record the tutorial that I wanted because dumb Fiverr has changed their business settings. And long story short, what I was trying to do was set it up so that someone on my team could hire a proofreader on Fiverr. So part of our process of taking a YouTube video and turning it into a blog post is of course having somebody else other than myself or Jesse, my business partner, actually read the blog post to make sure that grammar and spelling are all set and good to go. So that's just how it goes sometimes. It's really frustrating. I'm leaving in just over 24 hours and can't get dumb Fiverr to take my money. It's so frustrating when companies won't take your money. So instead of going through that process like I'd planned, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the process I went through very quickly of hiring a new designer for the second channel. And when you stick around, I'll actually show you some of the thumbnail designs that the 3 people that we had for the audition. So if you wanna learn more about this process, I'll link up the second playlist in the description. Will be all about how to use Upwork. So essentially, of course, it starts with a job posting. You can go ahead and pause if you want to copy this for yourself. Of course, this is free in the Aspire notebook. It's the same template I've been using for years. And the reason that I want to talk about this, and this is so important, is because finding the right people is the reason that I'm able to do what I'm about to do, which is essentially travel halfway across the world for a few months. This really isn't a one-person show. There's literally 4 other people behind the scenes that do a tremendous amount of work that allows me to sit here and make silly videos like this one. Well, hopefully not too silly. Maybe this one will actually be valuable. So there are 3 main things you need to do whenever you're hiring someone. And if you have the budget, go ahead and do an audition. So in this particular instance, I had people asking anywhere from $5 all the way up to $15 for their design skills. And so what I did is I reached out to the top 3 and I said, hey, I'd like to do an audition. I just want you to do 5 different thumbnail concepts for a couple videos, and I'd like to pay you a reduced rate just for the audition. And luckily, all of them said yes. Sometimes you'll get people who say no, but for the most part, especially if you're genuine about it and you're not actually trying to rip people off, you're going to be able to get a lower rate, because I definitely couldn't pay 3 to 4 people $15 an hour right off the gate for an audition. That would just be way too much money for what the budget is we have for this project. So the 3 things that you need is, number 1, you just need a project overview. So what you're looking at here is a document we sent to everyone who was in the audition, and it essentially just lets them know the process for contacting us and asking them not to bill us for the time it takes them to read the document. And then we just go through some very basic, I know there's a lot here, but some very basic outlines of what they're actually going to be doing, the project steps to follow, and then the information that they need in order to do the job. So this would be like an in-depth job description. Like, here's what I actually need you to do in order for me to be happy with your work. And then the second document actually gives them the information they need for the specific project. So for the first document, it's just like, hey, I need you to edit a video, and here's some general guidelines. And then the second document, you get detailed. And the reason you actually want to make 2 is because if you plan on sticking around for a while as an entrepreneur or business owner, you're going to do this multiple times. So you want the first document to be pretty generic. If you're ever going to hire a virtual assistant, a video editor, or a designer, in my case, what would be kind of the audition. And then the second document that you're looking at here, the thumbnail design guide, is actually the details for the specific audition. So when we go and look for new people to create thumbnails in the future, this is the exact same document we will use. We'll just update it. So I'm gonna go just below. We actually have a bunch of pictures of model thumbnails for just some copyright reasons. I'm not gonna show them on this video, but essentially we go through and we just show, hey, here's some thumbnails we like, here's why we like them, here's why we don't like them. And then of course we give them all the information they need to create the thumbnails. And so I'm going through this process relatively quickly, but I just wanted to share this with you because this is something that I do in the background over and over and over again. And so it's really easy to just like watch these vlogs and go, oh, he just like plays with YouTube ads all day. Well, no, there's actually a lot of other things going on behind the scenes, and getting great people, especially people who are way better than I am at other things like video editing, creating descriptions for all of these YouTube videos, or creating thumbnails, which I'm terrible at, by the way. I still just use Canva, where all of these people can use Photoshop, is just so vital to your success. It's actually crazy to think how many large YouTubers I watch, and I know because they say they still do all their own stuff, and it's just like, it's really hard to have a channel and a business if you're trying to do everything at once. So drumroll, here is a sample of some of the thumbnails that came in. So we actually had them do 5 different videos. But essentially what we did is we just said, hey, make a thumbnail for this hypothetical video. Of course, the videos don't exist yet because it's a new channel. And then we just threw them into one document here, and we can compare them and decide what we liked, what we didn't like, and then of course give the freelancers feedback and let them know whether or not we wanted to move forward with them, or thank you so much, but not really. So that was also what I did at the coffee shop earlier today. And with that, I am ready to sign off. I'm very, very oddly calm. And the reason I'm calm is because everyone on the team has their stuff, and I'm lucky to work with really nice people who are like, yeah, Jason, go ahead, take a break. We got this. Like, go, just go away for a while. Like, stop getting into her stuff, right? So definitely hard not to micromanage sometime, but everybody knows what they need to do. And so I was actually able to enjoy my last salmon for a while. There's no salmon in the Philippines, so that's my favorite fish. Although they have a lot of fish over there, but nothing compares to grilled salmon. I don't know why, but it's just grilled salmon. I really like it. I have my melatonin that's going to help me just shift because they're 16 hours ahead. So literally as I'm talking at like 10 o'clock at night, they're just waking up. So I don't know. There's no way to get around that jet lag. So thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope you got some value out of this vlog. Again, link in the description to a full-blown playlist that goes through the Upwork thing. But I just wanted to show you, like, this is something that you're going to be doing over and over and over again as an entrepreneur, because I think a large part of entrepreneurship, and something that's not talked about enough, is the fact that one of your primary jobs is building an awesome team and finding people who are just so much better than you in the areas that you're weak, and of course sometimes in the areas that you're strong as well. Jesse definitely kicks my butt sometimes with the ad campaigns, but as long as it's a collaborative process, you're going to move it and push your own skills and of course your business forward. So thank you again so much for watching. I will be back in 3 weeks. So until then, keep building the business you love.